What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Although Marvel Studios did not reveal Phase 6 at San Diego Comic-Con, we still have a pretty good idea of what is going to be a part of Phase 6. We're expecting movies like Thor 5, Doctor Strange 3, Black Panther 3. Some of these we know that we are getting. However, recently there have been a lot of reports about new shows and new movies coming to the MCU. And what's really interesting is that this is a combination of not just movies and shows, but also animated projects, and animated projects that will be both movies and shows. So not just TV series on Disney Plus that will be animated, but it sounds like Marvel might have an animated movie up their sleeves. And it sounds like Marvel Studios has recently spent a ton of money on a Wakanda project. There's a lot to talk about today as we'll go over the confirmed shows, the leaked shows, the rumored shows, etc. Basically what we have heard so far we'll go over today, but let's start with Shang-Chi because this is official. This is coming from Simu Liu himself. In a recent interview when he was asked about a sequel to Shang-Chi, Shang-Chi 2, he stated, "A lot of it is above my pay grade, but it's definitely happening. So just very excited to kind of work on it, and it's going to be amazing. I really can't say anything beyond that." So right here, Simu Liu says that Shang-Chi 2 is definitely happening, and this makes sense considering he was supposed to be one of the main characters in Kang Dynasty. Now, unfortunately, everything really changed with Kang Dynasty. It's obviously not called Kang Dynasty anymore. Kang is no longer the villain of Avengers 5, but now it's Doom. Robert Downey Jr. is returning to play Doom, and we have Avengers Doomsday now. And this part you might not have heard because the news just came out today, but Simu Liu's Shang-Chi was supposed to be one of the key players of Avengers Kang Dynasty. This was released today by Inverse. According to Inverse, Marvel Studios kept Shang-Chi as one of the main leads in Avengers 5. However, the plot idea was not finalized and the studio transformed it into Kang Dynasty, but of course, Marvel has since completely redone Avengers Kang Dynasty into Avengers Doomsday. So whatever plans they had before, unfortunately, were scrapped. However, some good news, according to Inverse again, Avengers Doomsday may still give characters like Shang-Chi the role they deserve, along with big follow-up roles in Avengers Secret Wars. So we have a Shang-Chi 2 coming, and then Shang-Chi should be a pretty big character in Avengers Doomsday. Now, before it was easy to link Shang-Chi with Kang because the 10 rings were supposed to be Kang tech. That was technology that Kang made. However, now it's kind of unclear how they're going to connect him to the overall Doomsday arc, which we really don't know what it is yet. But hopefully, fingers crossed, since Shang-Chi 2 will probably come out before Avengers Doomsday, possibly after, but most likely before. Hopefully it gets a pretty decent sized role in those Avengers films. So Shang-Chi 3 is confirmed. Now the next one is coming from insider Daniel RPK. He had a very good track record with his scoops for Deadpool and Wolverine, and he now reports that a live action series called World of Wakanda is in development right now at Marvel Studios. Now, this is different than the project Eyes of Wakanda. We'll talk about both here, but the big thing to note is that World of Wakanda is going to be live action and Eyes of Wakanda is going to be animated. But here's the interesting thing about Eyes of Wakanda. A while ago, Forbes reported that there was a secret animated project officially in the works at Marvel Studios, and the studio is said to have already spent over $19.6 million on the project. That's a lot for an animated project, but according to Daniel RPK, this project is indeed Eyes of Wakanda. And based off of what we've heard so far, the animation for this is going to be quite unique. And I hope so, because for $20 million for an animated project, we better be getting something good. So 2 projects that are coming, Eyes of Wakanda and World of Wakanda. And again, World of Wakanda is going to be a live action series, and perhaps this is where we find out the fate of T'Challa. This is something that a lot of people have really been wondering about. What exactly is going to happen with T'Challa's son, who is also named T'Challa? A lot of people obviously assume that he's going to go on to be the Black Panther. The only problem is he's a child right now. How do they kind of age him up to be kind of the same age as everybody else? Or maybe they don't do that. The Young Avengers are coming, and that's another project we'll talk about in this video. But right now he's even too young to be a part of the Young Avengers, but perhaps in the future that's where he could join. It's a bit of a mystery right now, which is why I think a lot of people are actually looking forward to a live action Wakanda project to kind of, at least hopefully, figure out what the heck's going on that front. Now, as far as Eyes of Wakanda is concerned, Daniel RPK did give a little bit of information about it. It will feature time travel. A group of Wakandans will travel back in time to stop the Horde from destroying the world. The show takes place on the sacred timeline. And that is quite interesting because if this ends up being true, then it is canon to the MCU. An animated show is canon. We are in the multiverse saga right now. Anything is possible, but this also means that What If could be canon. Marvel Zombies could be canon. Anything that's animated could be canon if they deem it to be canon. And again, that is the multiverse saga for you. Really, anything is possible. But this is, I believe, the first time that we've ever heard of an animated project actually being canon and taking place on the sacred timeline. Now, another interesting rumor about Eyes of Wakanda is that Iron Fist is actually supposed to debut in this animated project, and if that is true, that would make Iron Fist canon to the MCU. Something that I think a lot of people might want to see. But go ahead and let me know your thoughts about that in the comments down below. Now, we mentioned the Young Avengers. This project is obviously coming. It was set up at the end of the Marvels, and from what we've heard so far, the Young Avengers are actually going to play quite a decent sized role in the upcoming Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars films. And we've actually heard something incredibly interesting lately that involves the Young Avengers, and I'm gonna go ahead and go into the Vision series, which is confirmed. Kevin Feige himself has confirmed this. But we've heard a recent rumor from Daniel RPK. He reported that Marvel Studios wants Javon Walton to portray the Teen in Vision Quest. Now, the reason that this is so interesting is that Joe Locke is apparently playing a character named the Teen in Agatha All Along, but we believe he is going to be playing Wanda's son, Wiccan. So what's interesting about another character that is supposed to be Vision's son being called Teen in the Vision Quest series is that this could actually end up being Speed. And this could be how Wanda's kids actually return, and this could be how Wanda and Vision actually reunite with each other. Perhaps Wanda does sense that her kids have somehow reincarnated, which is basically something that happens in the comics, and she finds them and she finds Vision. Granted, a slightly different Vision, but he should have all of the memories that the other Vision had. So these two projects are going to be, well, really three projects if you include Agatha All Along, because that's where Billy or Teen or Wiccan, whatever you want to call him, is going to be introduced. So these three projects are going to be very important because this is how Wanda could reunite with everybody. Now, as far as the Wanda solo project is concerned, we haven't really heard anything about this recently. We'll do an update video on that soon, but really there hasn't been a ton new that has happened recently. This is the most recent news that makes us think that she is coming back, and this is how, because her kids become reincarnated, they return, and she goes and she finds them and Vision. Let's hope. Then we have a Power Pack series, and this was reported by Daniel RPK as well. According to him, it's in development right now at Marvel Studios, and we've heard rumblings about this project for a pretty long time now, for years actually. Now, the Power Pack is a team of 4 siblings: Alex Power, Julie Power, Jack Power, and Katie Power, hence the Power Pack. When a dying alien called Whitney gives each one of them one of his 4 superpowers, they obviously gain these powers, and he gives them the power so they can protect their planet from alien conquerors known as the Snarks, and thus the Power Pack is formed. And Franklin Richards has a big connection to the Power Pack, and since he is officially coming in the Fantastic Four, perhaps Marvel Studios has decided that now is the time to finally release this animated Power Pack series. And now that Marvel Studios has the Marvel Animation banner, it does seem like they are ramping up the animated projects, which is kind of cool if you like the animated projects. And if you don't, it doesn't really seem like these are going to be too crucial to watch or a necessity to watch before, let's say, the next Avengers films. Now, these are all the most solid projects that are pretty much believed to actually be happening. There are some rumors of other projects like The Runaways, MI-13, Moon Knight Season 2, Blonde Phantom, which is rumored to possibly have Taylor Swift play the main character, and a Hawkeye Season 2 as well, which we believe is probably more true than not. In fact, this one seems to be pretty much confirmed. But there's also the Wong Academy that we've heard about as well, and it's been said that the Eternals story might actually end up continuing in an animated series. According to Kevin Feige, Eternals 2 has been scrapped for now. They are not going to continue that story unless unless it's in animated form. So really, Marvel Studios does have a lot planned for Phase 6. And we've even heard that Marvel Studios has a lot planned for after Phase 6, which does make sense. It makes sense that they would plan very far out. Kevin Feige has said in the past they plan 5 years out of what they've already announced, which means they should have 5 years past Avengers Secret Wars planned. And that's not too hard with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and possibly a new Avengers team. That should be really exciting, but it's also exciting to see what's coming up. Go ahead and let me know which project you would be most excited about in the comments down below. And please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the recent news, rumors, or leaks. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as well. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.